which is very important. As initially we mentioned by the research, also around 15 to 18 questions have been asked, and that is the economy. Economy is a kind of subject which is mostly conceptual, linked with the current affairs. So if your conceptual clarity is very good of economy, you can get very good marks. I mean, you can make the questions correct. So more predictable, you can get the more predictable marks there, because if you have the conceptual clarity and just the basic conceptual clarity to know more about this subject, how to strategize, what should be the source, and exactly how the trends are going on with respect to the economy. We have our economy faculty, Monica sir, who will be sharing about.
So as you have mentioned, so economy is one subject where we can actually predict questions. It's not like predicting what questions will come. But economy is one subject where if you prepare in a conceptual manner, like if you take subjects like polity, history, or a little bit Indian geography, there will be so many facts. When facts are involved, there is no end to them. But economy is one subject where there will not be too many facts, but there will be concepts. Once you get a grasp of the basic concepts, once you know the concepts clearly, okay, and if you have prepared in a strategic manner covering the most important topics for prelims, like for example, when it comes to prelims, topics like money and banking, national income, balance of payments, they have more weightage when compared to some topics which are important for mains. Like for example, agriculture, industry, infrastructure, investment models, they are mainly focusing on the mains aspect. But when it comes to prelims, national income, money and banking, without questions on these topics, there won't be any exam, in general, any government exam, including UPSC prelims. And one thing that has happened is in 2025 prelims, there was no question on national income accounting, which was a surprise. So definitely we can expect more questions on national income accounting in 2026. So generally, as we discussed, UPSC doesn't follow any trend. Okay, so 1 year if they have not asked questions on national income accounting, definitely the next year they might ask even more questions on that. And generally, money and banking, always important concepts related to money, monetary policy, banking, okay, and some recent trends that are emerging with respect to the payment system, digital payments like e-rupee, all these things we need to cover. And similarly, external sector, balance of payments will become very important. And generally, every year, 1 or 2 questions will also come from microeconomics. And all these topics are not too much current affair based. Majority of these topics are just conceptual based. If you have proper conceptual understanding, let us say, if around 15 questions were asked from economy. So with conceptual clarity, if you follow the current affairs diligently, if you follow budget and economic survey. So we are also going to release a budget and economic survey analysis after the budget and economic survey gets released. So if you follow these aspects, conceptual clarity with current affairs, budget and economic survey, out of 15 questions, you will be easily able to answer 12 questions. Economy is one subject, generally, before you start the preparation, you might feel it as a difficult subject. But once you get the conceptual clarity, in prelims, without scoring very high marks in economy, it will be very difficult to clear prelims. I will say this. Okay, it is one subject, with surety you can answer more than 10 questions. Otherwise, in subjects like polity and all, it will become a little bit difficult to have 100% surety, because majority of them might be factual. But when there is concept involved, application involved, if you have the conceptual clarity, when you apply your concept, definitely you are going to derive the answer. It is like a mathematics problem. Once you solve the problem, you get the answer. Okay?
So there comes the, as you mentioned about the fundamentals of economics,
yes,
there is also a part of agriculture.
Yes.
I mean, how there is a trend, I mean, which type of questions UPSC is asking on the agriculture part of economics?
Yeah. Agriculture related questions in the recent times, they are focusing to some extent from the geography point of view. They are including the agriculture crop patterns on those things. On the other hand, they are asking the current affairs related aspects like MSP. So 2-3 times they have asked a question related to MSP.
So, like
what are
schemes,
the
policies,
agriculture policies, agriculture schemes? Okay, something that is there mostly in the current affair aspect. In prelims, agriculture part from the current affair aspect, it will be important. But when it comes to mains, there is a clearly defined syllabus for mains, and in each and every term, with respect to each and every term, we will anyway prepare. But when it comes to prelims, agriculture related topics, they will mainly they are mainly coming from whether it is industry. Like for example, let us take industry or employment related aspects. Recently, labor codes came into force on November 21st. Definitely, you can expect a question on the labor codes. So, on these type of things, we should follow the current affair aspects. Yeah, in prelims. In prelims. There, even when in 2020, 2021, when the labor codes actually were passed, there was a question on them in prelims in 2021.
Means also they asked.
Yeah, in means also they asked how they were working.
Yes.
But in this year November, again, okay, the rules and regulations related to how to implement them, again, government has given some instructions regarding that. So on such aspects, we need to focus mainly. Okay, there will be more probability of questions on such things.
So coming to this, as you mentioned, for the some sources also, like budget is important, economic survey is important. You also mentioned about the current affairs.
Yes.
This basic part, from where students should cover, what should be the source?
First thing, if you have taken some kind of coaching or anything, class notes where you have actually listened to the concepts, that will be your main source. Otherwise, if you are preparing on yourself, if you are doing self preparation, then we can follow the sources like Vivek Singh, which has good conceptual clarity, and even they are giving questions. Okay, there is also a question bank with that.
Okay.
So you can read the concepts, you can get conceptual clarity, and at parallelly you can also prepare the questions as well. Okay, you can answer the questions. And one more thing, with respect to economy, NCERTs, there are two main NCERTs. One is Indian Economic Development, and the other is Macroeconomics. So every year we are seeing the trend that at least 2 questions directly come from Indian economic development, minimum. So Indian economic development NCERT, everybody must read. It is important both for prelims and also from the mains perspective. And when it comes to the macroeconomics, we can read it parallelly. Let us say you are reading national income accounting. You have started that in your notes. Read that, parallelly read the national income accounting chapter in NCERT, and also read it in whatever the source. Okay, like Vivek Singh and all.
Can I skip NCERT? Suppose I don't have time properly to read this NCERT also. If I am reading Vivek Singh,
yes,
as you
then you can skip the macroeconomics.
Exactly, that's what I was asking. Like if
you have time constraint, macroeconomics, yes, that can be skipped.
So for the clarity of the student only, I was asking about that. So what we got to know about the economy is very clear that UPSC is asking around 15 to 18 questions, in which the majority of the question are the fundamental economics. So their students needs to be conceptually clear, not factually clear. If you are just focusing on the mugging of concepts of national income, balance of payment,
you are just by hearting the definitions, it won't work.
Then you might not be able to solve those questions. So you should be conceptually very clear in the economy. Questions will be simple. If you are able to apply those concepts, you can solve them.
And one more thing, last year a new trend has emerged relating to, they are giving small mathematics problems related to deficits, and there they are giving some values which are not exactly necessary. And generally aspirants think that there might be some formulas for fiscal deficit and all. No. Again, fiscal deficit is a concept. Generally in a particular year, what are the total borrowings that are done by the government? Simply when you look at the question, they are giving some values. In that, what are the total borrowings, if you can identify? That is the answer. No need to apply any formulas and all there. So from concept only the formula will be derived. It's not like from the formula the concept will be derived. So conceptual clarity is more important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So one other thing, sir, that we noticed in the recent prelims exam is that in the economy, if there are 3 statements, one statement is coming from current affairs.
Yes.
They are integrating both static and current affairs at the same time, so that to eliminate the aspirants who are not thorough with current affairs and static also. So we want a balance of both static and current affairs. With respect to economic current affairs, I would like to emphasize to the students that when you are reading, let's say, for example, money and banking. So when you are reading the concept of money and banking, at that time only cover the current affairs. So that first thing, it will take less time. Second thing, it will be easy for you to integrate both the static and the current affairs into the preparation.
One more point, sir, from the last 3 to 4 weeks, I am explaining the students about like PYQ analysis. Like with just one concept, if you know that, if you have the clarity of what is the function of RBI, you can be able to solve the 2 questions, at least 2 questions from the Like every year 2 questions will be from the RBI. If you know that RBI is a banking regulatory authority, you can able to solve easily. So that kind of clarity should be there. Like what is the functions of RBI, what is the functions of SEBI. Like if you have that functional clarity in the economy, you can able to easily solve those questions.
Yes. And in general on the concepts as well, the questions are asked on like a application of the concept. Like for example, related to inflation. So, which of the following factors are the cause for demand pull inflation? It is like application of our knowledge. We know the definition of demand pull inflation. We know the definition of cost push inflation. So, we need to able to link them to the concept so that which of the factors are actually causing that particular inflation. So, application and conceptual clarity is very important, as everybody has mentioned.